Losing in poker is unpleasant for everyone, but what is the reason, and what is the solution? We make it easy for you to win more in poker. We have provided 14 reasons and solutions for each of the reasons for your loss in poker. First, we will tell you the reason for your loss, and then the solution. Stay with us and support us by subscribing and liking. 1. Poor bankroll management. One of the most common reasons why poker players lose is poor bankroll management. If you're playing at stakes that are too high for your bankroll, you're putting yourself at risk of going broke. On the other hand, if you're not taking enough risk, you may not be maximizing your winnings. It's important to balance conservative bankroll management and take calculated risks. 2. Playing too many hands. Another common mistake poker players make is playing too many hands. If you're playing every hand your way, you're likely wasting chips on marginal hands that don't have a good chance of winning. It's important to be selective about the hands that you play and to focus on playing only the ones that have a good chance of being profitable and less chance of losing at poker. 3. Overvaluing hands. In addition to playing too many hands, poker players overvalue their hands. This often happens when a player has a good hand, such as a pair or two pairs, and assumes it's automatically the best hand at the table. However, it's important to pay attention to the community cards and the other players at the table to determine whether or not your hand is as strong as you think. 4. Ignoring position. Position is a key factor in poker that is often overlooked by novice players. How to play poker? Your position at the table can have a significant impact on the hands that you play and the bets that you make. It's important to pay attention to your position relative to the dealer and to use that information to make better decisions about your play. 5. Failing to adapt to opponents. Another reason poker players lose is that they fail to adapt to the play styles of their opponents. If you're playing against aggressive players, for example, you may need to adjust your play style to be more conservative. Likewise, if you're playing against passive players, you may need to be more aggressive to exploit their weaknesses. 6. Tilt. Tilt is a term used to describe a player who is emotionally unstable and is making poor decisions as a result. Tilt can be caused by various factors, including bad luck, a frustrating opponent, or personal issues outside the game. It's important to recognize when you're on tilt and to take a break to regain your focus before making further decisions. 7. Lack of focus. Another reason poker players lose is a lack of focus. If you're not paying attention to the game, you may miss important details that could impact your decisions. It's important to be fully engaged in the game and to avoid distractions that could take away from your focus. 8. Poor hand reading skills. Hand reading is a key skill in poker that many players struggle with. If you cannot accurately read your opponent's hands, you will likely make poor decisions about your play. It's important to pay attention to the community cards and the betting patterns of your opponents to determine the range of hands that they could be holding. If you liked the video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe and watch our videos to learn poker professionally and take notes quickly. 9. Not studying the game. Poker is a game that requires constant learning and improvement. If you're not studying the game and staying up to date with the latest strategies and techniques, you will likely fall behind in the competition. It's important to take the time to study the game and to work on improving your 10. Playing when you're not in the right mindset. If you're not in the right mindset, you may make poor decisions at the poker table. For example, if you're tired or stressed, you may be more likely to go on tilt or miss important details about the game. It's important only to play when you're feeling focused and alert. 11. Lack of discipline. Poker requires a great deal of discipline and self-control. If you cannot control your emotions or impulses, you may make poor decisions that cost you chips. It's important to stay disciplined and avoid making impulsive decisions based on emotion. If you lack discipline, then losing at poker is unavoidable for you. 12. Not adjusting to the table dynamics? Table dynamics can change rapidly in poker, and it's important to be able to adjust your play style accordingly. For example, if the table is playing tight, you may need to loosen up your play to take advantage of the situation. If the table is playing loose, you may need to tighten up your play to avoid making costly mistakes. 13. Poor reading of opponents. In addition to poor hand-reading skills, many poker players struggle to read their opponents. If you cannot accurately assess your opponent's play styles and tendencies, you may make decisions that are not in your best interest. It's important to pay attention to your opponents and to adjust your play style accordingly. 14. Poor timing of bluffs. Bluffing is a key part of poker, but it's important to time your bluffs correctly. If you're bluffing too often or at the wrong times, you'll likely be caught and lose chips. It's important to pay attention to the community cards and the betting patterns of your opponents to determine the best times to bluff. This is the most common reason a lot of folks are losing at poker game. In the following, we will tell you the solution to all these problems. How to stop losing at poker. Avoiding losing at poker can be challenging as it is a game that involves both skill and luck. However, here are some tips that can help you minimize losses and improve your overall poker performance. 1. Study and learn. Invest time in learning the rules, strategies, and concepts of poker. Understand the different hand rankings, positional play, pot odds, and betting strategies. Continuous learning and practice will enhance your decision-making abilities and help you avoid losing at poker badly. 2. Bankroll management. Set a budget for your poker playing and stick to it. Avoid playing with money you cannot afford to lose. Proper bankroll management ensures that you don't risk too much on any single game and helps you ride out variance. 3. Start with low stakes. If you're relatively new to poker or transitioning to a new format or variant, start at lower stakes. This allows you to gain experience and confidence without risking significant amounts of money. Follow this step strictly to avoid losing at poker. 4. Play selectively. Be selective about the hands you play. Avoid playing too many hands or getting involved in marginal situations. Focus on playing strong starting hands and folding weaker ones. 5. Positional awareness. Pay attention to your position at the table. Playing more aggressively in late position and being more cautious in early position can give you an advantage and help avoid unnecessary losses. 6. Manage emotions. Poker can be an emotional game, and emotions can cloud judgment. Avoid going on tilt, losing control due to frustration or anger, and making impulsive decisions. Stay calm, composed, and make rational decisions based on the information at hand. 7. Observational skills. Observe the play and tendencies of your opponents. Look for patterns, weaknesses, and betting patterns. Exploit the mistakes of others and adjust your strategy accordingly. This is important to stop yourself from losing at poker. 8. Practice bankroll preservation. Sometimes it's better to fold and preserve your chips rather than chase losses or play in unfavorable situations. Be disciplined and patient, waiting for strong hands and advantageous situations. 9. Continual improvement. Review and analyze your poker sessions to identify areas of improvement. Seek feedback from experienced players, study hand histories, and participate in forums or discussions to learn from others. 10. Play within your limits. Play at a level that matches your skill level and bankroll. Avoid the temptation to jump into higher stakes games where the competition may be more challenging and the risk of losses higher. Remember, poker is a game of skill, but there will always be an element of luck involved. Even the best players experience losses. Focus on making the best decisions based on the information available to you and aim for long-term profitability rather than short-term results. Thank you for watching.